One of the many gifts that God has given me is the ability to write lyrics. And one of my favorite songwriter is celebrating her 41st birthday today.
Impressed by so many things I'm impressed by, but it's your pen game. I always like to celebrate the artists who actually write their own music.
Amen.
Nothing against those who don't. I'm not, but I love to celebrate those who do. I'm curious too, what's changed about your process at all since the days of What's Love and Always on Time to 235 I Want You? Like, how have you evolved as an artist in your mind, and actually as a writer as well?
I think the only thing for me that has changed is obviously technology is different now. So I'll be on the plane and I'll whip out my phone and I'll do some melodies, in my voice notes or something if I catch a vibe. Obviously that wasn't happening, 2002. But I stick with my pattern of writing down on paper. Like when I bring a notebook to the studio, sometimes they look at me like, "Why you got that?" Like just write it in your phone. And I'm like, "Nah, I need to see. I need to see what I'm writing. I write in the margins. I write ideas, and I'll save this part for later." Now,
I always say, accept an artist for what they have to offer, than to judge an artist for what you want them to be. Now, with that being said, happy birthday to Ashanti. Ashanti is celebrating 41 years on this planet, and she looks better than ever. For many, many years, I've been fighting. I won't say fighting for her, but I've been fighting with people who underestimate, put down, and just discredit this artist. She's one of the best, one of my favorite songwriters. Her accolade speaks for itself, and she's so humble.
Yes. And she has always raved about how beautiful you are off camera and behind the scenes. And to me, that's a true testimony of a person. We all have a job to do, and sometimes, if you will, for lack of a better word, we got to put on and gear up for interviews and different things. But who a person is off camera and behind the scenes says so much about them. And JJ, who I've known for 30 years now, has always spoken highly of you. So much love to you, sis. And I just wanted to make sure the world heard that about you as well. How you been?
And what I came to realize is that I don't have to fight for her no more, because either these people get it or they don't, And I am the type of person to where I don't speak about an artist. I don't talk about anybody in this business unless I've done my research. And what I came to realize is that a lot of people are just speaking out their neck, you know what I'm saying? They're going by what the media say, or, what others say, and not necessarily doing their research and learning. When I tell people about Ashanti and go into detail and show them, proof of her accomplishment and the things that she's been through in this industry, I remember showing a friend the documentary that, shout out to the Emprissive channel.
Ashanti is an R&B singer, songwriter, TV film producer, businesswoman, and an actress who broke records early in her music career. Ashanti is the first female artist to have her first 3 singles enter top 10 on the Billboard charts at the same time. Ashanti has written multiple smash hits, and she sold over 15 million records worldwide.
That the Emprissive channel did on Ashanti, and he was like, wow. At the end of that documentary, he was like, you have changed my whole idea of Ashanti. Right, because now that you see the proof and you know what she went through, you can appreciate her a lot more. You know more.
Ashanti didn't miss a beat with her career. She established partnerships with different companies, sang on different movie soundtracks, produced a movie called Mothers and Daughters, and starred in the movie Stuck. Luckily, Ashanti's music story is not a dismal one. Even though she faced several ups and downs in the music industry and had to deal with harsh criticism about her relevancy and talent, she always managed to stay optimistic and prove people wrong. Today, Ashanti owns all of her recording masters and she continues to make money off of the hit songs she wrote. She's in a much better position than most artists are in today. She has ownership of her work and she has her freedom.
He was like, right. And I realized that I can't do every single soul like that in the business, but I can keep celebrating Ashanti and keep, just giving her flowers, and hopefully y'all will get it. Maybe I will, maybe y'all won't. But today is October 13th, and she is celebrating her 41st birthday. Congratulations on 20 years in this business. If you guys didn't catch the last video when I talked about her, Ashanti is set to re-record her first album. She also has a movie called Honey Girl that is dropping on the 19th of October.
Girls from all over the country are submitting their auditions for the most anticipated talent contest of all time, presented by pop superstar Fancy G.
You've been chosen as one of the contestants.
Your lyrics, I wanna be like those girls in the movies. Right, and now you've been to movies. Okay, so what did representation look like for you when you were growing up? And can you talk about kind of the mentorship, because there's a lot of mentorship in this film, that you experienced with Black women when you were coming up in the industry?
Okay, as far as representation, for me growing up and the artists that I looked up to, it was Mary J, it was Faith, Toni Braxton, amazing female artists. I think that it's just so important, like you said, to look for that representation. Yeah. And then it's amazing to become that representation, and that's something that I'm super grateful for, because that is so important. Like you said, just being a young Black girl, and it's so weird. The character, well, her real name is Aaliyah, the Black girl. Yeah. And yes. I have a little cousin named Aaliyah, and they look so much alike, and like the same complexion, like the same stature. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm hanging out with my little cousin. Yeah. So we had our little moment, on set up there in Canada.
As well as she will be receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, congratulations for that. You mentioned Hollywood. I'm also, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's also been word that you will receive your star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2022. Is that true? Let's go. That is so dope. Do you know where it's going to be yet? Did they give you the location?
They haven't. I haven't found out yet. Listen, I'm just happy I'm getting.
That's right. That's right.
I'm still stunned. I'm still like, I can't even believe it. When I found out, I was like, are you sure?
Right.
I was so stunned and just so excited to be able to share the moment with my mom and my family and my PR, my publicist. So
there's a lot of people in this industry that does give her flowers. And Sway Universe, his morning show, I love how they represent and speak so highly of Ashanti every time she comes on the show and do an interview.
And witness this greatness, this history. The first female artist to occupy 2 top positions on the Billboard Hot 100 chart simultaneously. What song she wrote, Foolish and What's Love. Grammy Award winning singer, songwriter, record producer, model, actress, and the curator of the I Want You Challenge. The one and only, the legendary, with the golden pen. Give it up for Ashanti. 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 Ashanti.
Wait, that has got to be the best intro.
Ashanti.
Let's go, HB. All right, citizens of Sway in the Morning. Now, some things we always try to make our guests feel welcome here at Sway in the Morning. You guys know that. But some folks, their history and their resumes are so extensive and so unbelievable that we have to give you some background to give this person their proper flowers. It's not everything because we ain't even got enough time in this 4-hour show of Sway in the Morning to list every single accolade that this woman has. But I'm just going to give you a brief. Citizens of Sway in the Morning, singer, songwriter, record producer. Back in 2002, she released her debut album, which sold over 505,000 copies throughout the U.S. And I'm talking about this is in the first week of her release. The album earned her many awards, including 8 Billboard Awards, 2 American Music Awards, and a Grammy in 2003 for Best Contemporary R&B Album. The album has since been certified as triple platinum in the U.S. and then went on to sell 6 million copies worldwide by the end of 2003.
All in 1 year.
That's in 1 year. Also in 2003, she released the second album, Chapter 2, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with first week of sales over 300,000 in the U.S. And the album went platinum, selling over 1.5 million copies in the U.S. since its release. Let's go on to 2004. She released a third studio album, Concrete Rose. That album debuted at number 7 in the U.S., selling over 250,000 copies and became her third platinum certified album. In 2005, she made a feature film debut, Coach Carter, alongside another citizen in the morning, Samuel L. Jackson, starring as Dorothy Gale, and made-for-television film The Muppets, Wizard of Oz. That pulled nearly 8 million viewers when it premiered. She has since gone on to star in other films. When I sit here and try to do the math, Tracy G, what you want me to tell you?
It just shows that, you know, there's a lot of people out there that does recognize greatness.
So like when I was like 12 or 15, I waited in line at Gordon's Book or Barnes & Noble for like 10 and a half hours to get your signature on your special like book. And it was I had braces and everything. I had a picture of us together. And your mom was like, "This is so sweet." And it was so amazing. I would wait a million years for you for the rest of my life. You're so amazing. You're the cutest, great. You're like perfect. And you've been perfect. I was like, you've been perfect my whole life. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, you are amazing. Thank you so much. That just made me feel so amazing.
Oh, you make me feel amazing. Same to you. I love you. Changed my life. I love y'all so much.
Big time.
Sorry, that was a mess. I love you. Thank you for everything.
And Ashanti is definitely an incredible artist. One of few that is really humble, that is still doing her thing, and she deserves to be celebrated. So you guys, let's celebrate, show her love, and the comment, happy birthday, Ashanti, the queen of verses, so they say.
Hey, she is the absolute queen of verses. She is the queen of verses. Citizens, welcome to the show, our friend, our sister, our beloved Ashanti.
Hey!
Hey, I have to say, oh my.
I just want to say, Ashanti, I love you, and I appreciate all that you have done for me and the inspiration, how you inspired me, and just girl, you're a beast with that pen, and I love the way she writes her music. And not only that, she hasn't become like stagnant in her writing. She's definitely have evolved from then to now, and I love the evolution of Ashanti. Whether y'all get it or not, I'm here to support, and thank you again. Happy birthday, Ashanti. She's a queen, y'all. Give her flowers.
Her flowers, she's here. Tracy, go ahead.
Yeah, Ashanti, I'm so happy whenever we get the opportunity to talk to you and my girl, sincerely. And it has been a pleasure to be with you every step of the way, because it's like, it's crazy when you get to the point where you and your fans are really growing up together. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you have not outgrown each other. And when you had mentioned female camaraderie with this film,